Welcome to your Optimal Personal Economy podcast with Justin Bennett. Your personal economy is your ability to create, protect, preserve, and utilize your wealth, your financial world. Justin will share strategies and stories to help you optimize your personal economy. Now, on to the show with Justin Bennett and co-host Matt Halloran.
Today, we're going to get to know Justin even better by diving into who he is, what he does, and who he does it for. So, Justin, why don't you tell our audience, why did you become a financial advisor?
Sure. Thanks, Matt. Growing up in an entrepreneurial family, I recognized that I always wanted to control my own destiny and be in my own business. And what I learned at a relatively young age is that I wanted to truly be in a business that interacts with people and ultimately makes a difference in people's lives. And I felt as though this profession would allow for me to follow that path and continue to make differences in people's lives as we move through time.
Got it. So do you focus on fellow entrepreneurs as your favorite client, or who is your ideal client?
Yeah, so I would say that my experience and my intention is definitely to focus on working with people that own their own business, happen to put themselves in that entrepreneurial category, and they may just also think like an entrepreneur because there's a certain mindset around a business owner or an entrepreneur that non-business owners and non-entrepreneurs may not have. And so I do make it a clear, conscious effort to work with those. I do feel like those types of folks get the most value out of the type of work that we do together. And so therefore it has been my experience and my continued objective to work with those types of clients.
Well, let's break that down just a little bit more, if you don't mind. So are there specific life events or business events that our listeners, if they're experiencing right now, it should be a trigger that, hey, I really need to give this Justin guy a call?
So I think that, Matt, what happens is that, people run through time in a capacity whereby they kind of have a somewhat natural progression and evolution, but with some life events that do surface along the way. And so I don't know if there's any one specific life event or reason that may surface that would cause somebody to want to reach out. Although what I have seen is that sometimes people recognize that their business is growing. They're adding more children to their family. They happen to be maybe going through a divorce. They may be buying more real estate. They may be looking to sell their business. They may be looking to roll up their business. There may be some other triggering events. They might just recognize that simply they've been putting off a lot of meaningful financial decisions that they have wanted to do, but yet they didn't really know how to start or where to start or who to reach out to. And so therefore they tend to just kind of put those on the back burner and move through life and address those various items that come up on a day-to-day basis, but yet kind of lose sight of the big picture and the things that are really important to them and the things that they truly do want to address.
Got it. Well, big picture is really where I want to go next here. So Justin, when you think about long-term planning, which is obviously what you do for your clients, the idea of this question is for us to uncover a little bit more about what your long-term plans are. So tell our audience what your goals are and what do you hope to achieve in life?
Sure. I would break that down, Matt, by saying I've got some professional objectives, goals, and some personal objectives and goals. And I tend to swim at a high level with my thinking and with the way that I behave. And so at a high level on the professional side, I do want to, and I'm on a professional mission to change the paradigm in the way that people think about money so that ultimately the decisions that they make are very much in line and consistent with what the outcomes may look like. because I do think that people blindly make financial decisions, have a certain paradigm around money, that there is a low level of awareness. There is decisions being made based on convenience or hope, in some cases sales hype. And I think that that ultimately leads to outcomes that are not really in line with what people want. And so if we can come back to the present day, a true understanding of how money works, being able to help people self-discover if what they are doing truly will result in the outcomes that they want. And if not, we're able to certainly supply them with some different ways of thinking and different ways of looking at money. And I think in doing this, Matt, on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, I think it's going to create some traction more so than it already has in the marketplace. And I think that people are going to start to make much more informed and intelligent and purposeful decisions. And they're going to be much more happier with the outcomes that will follow, as opposed to a lot of the conventional and traditional ways of looking at money decisions.
Well, so thank you for that, and I'm glad that you're going to really take the bull literally by its horns here and try to redirect people so that they're looking at their financial situation and money in a different way. What do you hope to achieve in life? I mean, what are your life's goals besides helping people in the way that you help them already as a financial advisor?
So, Matt, I would tell you that because I have 3 relatively young children, and I do feel as though it is my mission on the personal side to stay focused on making sure that they grow up and ultimately become adults in a manner in which is equal to or greater than the life that I was given when I was being brought up and that I'm in currently. And if they could then take that same experience, knowledge, and wisdom and share it with their children and continue to pass that on to all upcoming generations, I think that would be extremely valuable. And I would really be happy to know that that is something that I was able to accomplish.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of that, you had talked about growing up in an entrepreneurial family. So what's the best advice you've ever received, whether it comes from, a grandfather, father, a friend, or anything like that? Let's talk about the best advice.
So I've received a lot of really good advice. And so therefore, if you were to try to flush out a very one specific piece of advice that I've received, I would say do what you love and love what you do. And I say that because there are so many people out there that are going through the motions of whatever they may be doing from a career standpoint, creating some economic means, and ultimately not loving what they do. And I think there's a direct correlation to loving what you do and the results that will follow. And so I would always tell people, regardless of how old they may be and where they may be in the spectrum of life, there should be no reason why you're not doing what you love and love what you do, because I think the results will be exponential.
That's fantastic. I love that the results will be exponential. That's wonderful. Well, now this is another opportunity for people to get a connection with you and find out a little bit more about who you are and what makes you tick. Name something that most people don't know about you or would be surprised to find out.
So I did happen to be fortunate enough to play college basketball, although it was at a Division III school. I had the ability to play a couple of years of college basketball, which was a really, really cool experience. And so I would tell you that that's probably something that some people may not know about me. Gotcha.
Well, what position did you play?
I was that guy bringing a ball up the court. So
nice.
I'm 5'2", Matt, and so I certainly wasn't grabbing rebounds or dunking the ball. So I was the point guard bringing the ball up the court.
That's fantastic. Well, what's one thing that you think the general public should know about financial advisors and their advice?
I think that the general public should always hold every and all financial advisors accountable to the advice they offer from a factual and verifiable standpoint.
Oh, okay. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Sure. I think that a lot of times there is some education and learning in the financial advisory business, and sometimes people just literally take what they heard from a trainer or a mentor or a company or an institution, and they just literally regurgitate it back to the marketplace, but they truly don't understand what that does mean for the client or the prospective client. And so they tend to just kind of move through time in their career and offer advice, but not really know what the facts and the verifiable outcomes will be as a result of those different suggestions that they may be offering.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that. It was very, very well said. Switching massive gears here, if you had the undivided attention of everyone in the world for just 30 seconds, what would you tell the world?
I would tell the world that you don't know when your number is going to be called, and so therefore live every day, every moment, every second as though it's your last.
Magnificent. I love that. I really hope more and more people get to hear that, because I think that's true wisdom that really spans all space and time. Now, when you think of success, not just personal, but just overall success, who comes to mind? Do you have somebody that you look up to, that you say, man, I'd really like to be that person when I grow up?
I think somebody that has success is somebody that's not just successful in business, but is successful in the game of life. That would include relationships with spouses, with children, with friends, has some sort of objective to want to give back in time, energy, money, etc., and always wanting to share in whatever that may be. So that's what I would kind of just mention to you, Matt, is what I see success to be. And I think somebody that does come to mind, or two people that encompass that, are certainly both of my parents as well as my wife. And so I think that I would tell you from a success standpoint, those three, they definitely have it all going on.
That's wonderful. What is the best way for people to contact you? So they've listened to the podcast and they say, you know what, man, I really like this Justin guy. It seems like he's got his head screwed on straight, and I really need a second opinion, or I need somebody to talk to me about my finances in a different way, that it sounds like Justin will talk to me. What's the best way for people to contact you, and where can they find you?
Sure. I think the best way is to simply go to our website, bennettfg.com. And there's a number of ways that they can contact us: through email, through phone calls. They could download our paper that speaks a little bit more to what we do and how we do and why we do what we do. And then ultimately, what I'd like to do is, if there's somebody out there that is looking for some sort of understanding of how money works, we would jump on a phone call and spend a few minutes together and see where that may take us.
Fantastic. Would you mind sharing the phone number, please?
Sure, it's 732-897-4096.
And are you on any social media channels?
We are on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Fantastic. On Facebook, is it a company page?
It is a personal page.
Okay. And it's just you?
It is just me. I guess I don't know much about Facebook. So
that's no worries. I'm not surprised at that at all. Very, very few people know the inner workings of Facebook. So if they just want to Google you, and you're going to have buttons on your website for them to connect with you socially, correct?
Yes.
Magnificent. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience before we go ahead and wrap this up today?
Not at this time, Matt. Appreciate your time and look forward to our next segment together.
Absolutely. So stay tuned, everybody, because this is the beginning of a wonderful relationship between, you and Justin Bennett. We're going to be diving into a lot more about what makes him unique and different, and really why you should reach out to Bennett Financial Group and see what they have to offer. And for that, my name is Matt Halloran for Justin Bennett. We'll see you on the other side of the mic.